You're on.
Alright, so we're going to do a video today. This is White Label Farm's first video. We're going to talk about colloidal gold. So colloidal gold, I was trying to make it for lots of time, but it's hard to find information about it online. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to guide you through a step-by-step process on how to make colloidal gold. So number one, you need to have some components. First thing being this unit. This unit is a Korad KD3005D. It's the best one I was able to find. It's relatively cheap. I think I got it for 140 bucks. What you need to have on this unit and why this unit is good is constant current. When you're doing this, if you know anything about electricity, when you start putting stuff into water, it changes how current works through a water, so like a battery, like a car battery. So you need to have a constant current. You also need a heater. This I got at, well, we're in Canada, so Canadian Tire for 10 bucks or 15 bucks. It's this little camp heater, Master Chef camp heater. Beaker, ordered online, about 40 bucks. And then obviously what we're going to be putting into it. So first things first, you need to have distilled water, not purified water, it has to be distilled water, pure H2O. I do it to 1,000 on the beaker. This is an what do you call it, 1,800 ml or 2,000 ml beaker. Do it to 1,000. 1,000 is for what fits into a mason jar, a 1 liter mason jar. Then you need three components. You need sea salt, non-kosher or kosher sea salt, no iodine or anything, just plain salt. Sodium citrate, which you can order, Modernist Pantry, Kitchen Alchemy, sodium citrate.
Okay.
And organic light corn syrup. Alright, so what you're doing here, as opposed to making colloidal silver, you're making colloidal gold. Colloidal gold will not disassociate itself in water. Well, it will, but not very well. So what you're actually creating is another compound, gold citrate. And that's what allows you to see the red when you're making colloidal gold. So what I'm going to be using today is, this is a piece of copper ground wire out of a 14-2 wiring, like your house wiring. This is a piece of copper wire. I've stripped it off, it's hanging, I've got it bent so it hangs around the outside. This is kind of a ghetto setup, but it'll work.
It works.
Yeah. And this one here is just a gold, this is a pure gold, mined out of the mountains of Alberta by my father, given to me as a necklace. I have no use to wear it, I wear only silver, and so we're going to use it for this. So, what we got to do is, number one, fill it up to 1,000, get it hot. One thing I should mention is when stirring this, don't use anything other than a glass rod. What I'm using is the copper cathode for this, just because I know it's already going to be in there, and I've used it before, not a big deal. So first things first, give it a good stir, get it moving around a little bit.
And the water's already warmed up?
Yeah, the water's already warmed up. Then you want to take your sodium citrate, and I find about a teaspoon works pretty good. You can use a little bit less, a little bit more, it's not a big deal. So about a teaspoon.
And that's for 1,000 mils of water?
Yes.
Distilled water?
Yep. And then a little bit of salt. You don't need a lot. I find if it gets too salty, it upsets my stomach. So a little bit of salt. And then 3 drops of organic corn syrup. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so give it a good stir. Get it stirred up like that. Just to mix it up. The heat from the thing will also, this is a large grain salt, so it takes the longest to associate into the water. And then what I do is I take my cathode, connect it up to the negative side, like that, and then I hold it in place using paper clips. And then I take my gold, and we hook it up to the positive side, always to the positive side, because you want the anodes go to the cathode side. put it in there as best as I can. Try to clip it on there. I'm going to work on making this better. I'm going to make a T-bar for it, but for right now, this works pretty good. So, get that to sit in the water as much as you can, as much surface area as you can get out of it. Like that. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit more.
I have to change my angle to see it in there.
Yep. All right. So now you've got the components in there. I'm just going to pull this out of the way.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it burning, because this is pretty hot. So I'm just going to get our hook there. I got to fix that eventually. All right. So we've got our anode, which is our gold, and our cathode, which is our copper. Now, this machine, like I said, does constant current. So what we're going to do is we'll turn it on, and if you want to videotape inside or on the side, you should be able to see it start going across. You see how the bubbles are coming out of your copper side? You want it to come out of your copper side. Right
Okay,
here.
yeah, the bubbles, yeah, on the copper,
so,
okay.
Yeah. You'll have a little bit coming off of the gold side. Most of it will be coming off the copper
Yeah,
side.
it's pretty evident that it's coming off the copper side.
Yeah, if you have it the other way, you've got your leads reversed. You need to have it this way. I know it's counterproductive. You think, oh man, it's going to strip ions from the wrong side. No, this is just the reaction of it transporting ions of gold across the system. Now, if you look here, this machine can be set for any voltage or any amperage. I've got it set for 0.5 amps. I find that works the best. And then I've got it set for 31 volts. As you can see, it's in a constant current mode, which means it'll adjust the voltage based on how much gold or how much stuff is being held in the water. So right now this thing is set, and you can see it's dropping as it's going, but the current is staying constant, so you want that constant current machine. Don't try to use a plug out of your house. Don't try to use anything like that. You need to get one of these, because this works for colloidal silver as well. So as you can tell, it's going along pretty good there. This takes about 15 minutes, 20 minutes max to get where we need to be. So let's pause the video and then we'll start it up again. Okay, so as you can tell, we are about a minute in. You can see it's starting to turn pink. That's on its way to being red. So as you can also see, this is dropping in voltage again. It's going to want to keep dropping in voltage because it's trying to keep the current constant. So it's going to drop that voltage in order to keep it going. So what we're going to do is we'll pause again and then we'll check in a few minutes. Alright, so we've been doing it for 5 minutes. You can see it's starting to get pretty red. One thing I forgot to mention before, make sure when you're doing your gold, make sure it's pure 24 karat gold, not jewelry, not anything else like that, right? You want to make sure that you use pure gold, not 18 karat. Well, I guess, no. You want to use 24 karat.
Yeah, try to use a coin or...
Yeah, coin or not jewelry. This is actual gold flake that got smelted down, so it's different. But yeah, you want to use a gold coin. This is gonna change very rapidly. One thing that should be mentioned is a lot of people, you'll see it, well, it'll be about red. The more red, the more gold ions you have in the water. Because it's hot, you want it to be almost purple, or dark purple, because once it cools down, it actually turns back into being red. If you do it like this, it's gonna disassociate back because there's a lot in there, right? So you want to make sure that you bring it down to it's going to change very quickly. Like I said, don't stir it. My biggest mistake, don't stir it with anything. Once it gets going, just leave it alone. Because if you stir it with something, you change the chemical composition of it, and then it's no longer gold, and then you run into problems. Yeah, we'll pause it again and we'll try again in a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay, as you can tell, it is now purple, which is what you're looking for. You want it to be as pretty dark purple. You don't want it black, obviously, but that's about where I want it. So what we do is you just shut her down, disconnect your leads, and take it all off. So that's our video series on building gold. The reason we're doing colloidal gold is twofold. Number one, psoriasis. I have psoriasis. And number two is for brain function. Right? Gold is what they talk about in the old texts. Colloidal gold is what they talk about. Alchemy is gold.
So how does it help your psoriasis?
Well, it makes your skin very smooth. After about a week, your skin gets super smooth all over your body. It's good for probably eczema, any type of skin condition. They used to use it back in the 1800s, 1900s in a skin cream to put on people's skin for all sorts of skin ailments. Then they got out of it, obviously, and now we're bringing it back. So now we drink it. This 1,000 milliliters I go through takes about 2 weeks. I don't really measure doses when you first start out. Don't go too hard on it. You know, maybe do 2 tablespoons. Make sure you do it with food. I found that it upsets my stomach. Maybe it doesn't upset everybody's stomach, but it upsets mine. So when you do it, 2 tablespoons in the morning with food, and knock it back with some water every day. Now I just kind of put it in a mason jar and take swigs out of it. It doesn't really bother me at all.
Yeah, you cool it off and then put it in the fridge.
Yeah, and then just keep it in a mason jar and knock it back as you go on.
Okay, so how does it help you neurologically?
Well, it makes you quicker, wittier, allows you to access information a lot easier, not as much brain fog, kind of cleans all that up for yourself. Hand-eye coordination's a lot better, muscle control, everything, not pain, there's not as much pain as you get older. You know, this helps connect the neurons in your brain and in your body using what it needs to. It coats all your nerve endings with gold. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. So stay tuned. We're going to do another one when we get the time. We're going to do colloidal silver. It's a lot easier of a system, but you need a couple more things to do it.
Right, and this color will go back to a lighter color in the fridge.
Yeah, light red.
Yeah.
It'll be what you normally see when you buy it for however much they charge now, $60 an ounce or whatever it may be. So this whole system setup is probably going to run you about $200, but after that,
it's well worth it.
It's well worth it. You can make whatever you want. Colloidal gold, colloidal silver, colloidal platinum. A lot of people are doing colloidal platinum. And a mixture of colloidal gold and silver. I haven't tried that yet, but I've been hearing all the good things about that as well. So we'll talk about more about that when we do colloidal silver.
All right, great. Okay, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. Thank you.